Concert Crew Podcast, we back again.
Yeah.
Today we talking Loud Records today, man. We celebrating Loud Records. Steve Rifkind, the founder of Loud Records, he just celebrated his 60th birthday, and all of his old artists and stuff was all showing him love. So it's only right to talk about Loud Records because his label put a stamp in hip-hop. So we got my man T. Warren, the rapologist. We got my man Mark Izzy today.
Yes.
We talking hip-hop, man. We talking hip-hop. Loud Records was founded by Steve Rifkind in 1991. It's responsible for breaking some of the biggest names in hip-hop. Steve Rifkind was the son of Spring Records boss Jules Ripken. And Steve Rifkind found an early love for hip-hop and R&B growing up in Merrick, Long Island. You know where that's at, Pito? I ain't never heard of that before.
On the South.
Jules Ripken ran Spring Records in the 1960s and 1970s, and he had clients like James Brown and Millie Jackson. Steve Rifkind actually used to work there doing little things for the label, and he eventually, for his love for hip hop, he wanted to start his own thing, and he founded Loud Records. And, he had a lot of artists, which some of the albums that we got on this table right now. So Steve Rifkind celebrated, his 60th birthday. What does Loud Records mean to hip hop?
To me, Loud Records was the little cousin to all the big names that was out there. You got the Def Jams, you got the Columbia, you know what I'm saying? You got all them type guys. And Loud Records was that underground little cousin that came out of nowhere with powerful underground artists that was on their way up, but a lot of people didn't see the shine in these artists until further into their projects and other projects. But Loud Records was that one label, seemed like a freedom label. Like you got more freedom to move around on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they brought the grimy underground style to crossover to the radio to make the hits and the classics,
It was almost like an indie label to me. It was like it was for real, it was for the hip hop heads. Like Loud Records is for the hip hop head. Like if you like particularly like that grimy rap, for the most part, that like grimy rap, you're gonna get a lot of that at Loud Records, man. It's for the hip hop head. What you saying, Izzy?
It's like the bank, the big bank, and then there's the Federal Credit Union. It's the credit union. That's what they were. They were the credit union. They was going to finance your car. Maybe you wouldn't have got it at Chase, but you definitely was going to get it there, and you was going to get it put on. So I agree with y'all on that account.
Great point on that, man.
That's a good one.
Underground like a mug, no doubt about it, man. And look at the list of albums that you got here, man. I mean,
this is just some of them too. This is some of them too.
Funkmaster Flex decided
all
his albums were released on here.
Yeah.
He wanted to have creative license. So yeah.
No, he just did that so he can grab singles off of all these people that's on the label.
Of course.
That's what he was doing.
Well, of course. Well, it's funk, so you know that.
So what gave like Loud Records this big breakthrough in the rap game, you think?
This?
Enter the Wu.
I have to agree.
That and this?
Yeah, don't get about that, brother. Grab that.
No, I mean Mobb Deep definitely, but Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang was such a big movement.
Yeah.
He was Santa Claus.
Explain.
And they all the deers. They
What?
flying over everything. He's leading them.
And he just okay.
Yeah, he leading them.
The white man just.
Yep.
Damn.
Until he, at some point, he hit a couple trees, and them deers started breaking off and doing separate solo projects, and
The credit union.
yeah.
You're right. The credit union. Yeah, I agree. Wu-Tang, man. Wu-Tang, they opened the door in hip hop, something different, man. And that, I didn't know nothing about Loud Records or nothing, and I didn't hear the name until Wu came into the mix, man. So I would definitely have to say Wu. That kicked the door down for everything, man.
Yeah, and I didn't hear no bad things about Loud Records owing money to anybody. Everybody had their own.
That's a good point.
He took care of his people.
Never heard no discrepancies like, yo, I ain't get paid by the label. He
let them rock the way they wanted to rock.
I agree.
You never. I agree with that. I agree with that also. You agree with the Wu? Everybody agree Wu?
Yeah, absolutely.
Knock the door. So this was a big deal when he signed the Wu. Why do you think Steve Ripken was able to sign the Wu? Because he didn't have the most money to offer them. So why do you think he was able to convince the Wu that going to Loud Records was the best move for them? Because it was a good move.
Due to the future, like freedom that he promised them. You know what I'm saying? The Wu already believed in the product that they was bringing. And he already believed in it. He already knew, like, yo, man, listen, once y'all do this and it's breakthrough, like we know it's going, not like y'all think it's going to break, like we know it's going to break through because he's seen the Wu. He grew with the Wu. You feel me? He grew with them before he signed them. It wasn't like, oh, I like them. I like the all black guys. And there's one of them, they got different. Nah, he grew with them. He grew into liking their music and him being a part of, damn near being part of the Wu.
So he was a fan of the music.
My point exactly. So when he let them know, like, yo, man, after this, we gonna take over. And they seen that and they believed it. And they already got their different chambers. How many chambers they said they had? 36 chambers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Due to everything that they bring to the table, they knew that they had more to offer. And where else would you want to be at to make this type move? You know what I'm saying? It was like a freedom. You feel me? Def Jam wouldn't have allowed some of the things that they was doing with this situation. The inside this cover, man, he actually cooking yay.
Right.
Like,
That's
for real.
not
They not.
That's not happening. They're
Def
not
Jam is not
doing
letting
well.
you take that inside. Nah, that's that. Now you can hold that for your regular picture, man. We can't promote that. But this was really going on. This is what they represented. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this was like I'm saying, man, it was like that independent but major but little cousin. You feel me? But the majors up there is looking down at like, yo, man, they got a nice roster down that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And look at the artillery they coming with. And
What I want to know is why he didn't do all the solo albums.
That's why I was going to add to that. That's why the deal with them happened. He promised them. Nobody else was trying to say, like, they wanted to get the Wu album and we get all the solo albums. He was like, nah, I just get y'all as a group. And that's why only like Raekwon and only a couple of them is on Loud. The other ones, y'all can go wherever y'all want to. That was another big part of the deal.
What he was trying to do and what he eventually would do, because the whole plan was for them to get their masters eventually. So after all does what you said, which is once we all take over, then we'll come back, and then everybody will own everything, their own stuff. So that's also how he got them. Because nobody, as you just said, who's telling you that out there? Def Jam's not telling you that.
They probably went out.
Andre Harrell, definitely, they're not telling you that. We're keeping it.
Well, the other albums that they went to other labels, they probably got a taste of it and got more money.
Of course.
But their albums didn't rock like they was here. The freedom that
they
had.
have the freedom, because then you have people controlling. You're going to do this. This producer is going to be on this album, and so on and so forth.
The artists on this label is getting prepared for the future. And the future is now. They making more money off these albums right now because there's not so many hands in the pot. So the way that these joints is lined up now, when you getting money off the streams and things of that nature, the people that are on Loud Records is benefiting from this more than anybody, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And
trying to 5 different imprints.
Yeah, and I think that was worth more than an advance money. Like, yo, we getting our freedom. We can sign wherever we want to. We getting complete creative control, especially for somebody like the RZA that's a mad scientist. Yeah. Like, that's bigger than you giving me 100,000. Nah, he like, yo, I only got 120,000 or whatever it is for y'all for 9 people, which is that's nothing. But I'm gonna give all y'all creative freedom, everything y'all want. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. Like, I'm giving y'all, and then y'all can sign wherever y'all want as solo artists too. That's big. Like, that's big, man, for real. So why was Steve Rifkind is a white guy? Why does everybody, even his 60th birthday just passed, all these Havoc, all these people is posting Steve Rifkind? That tells me that he has a good relationship with everybody. Why do you think people, hip-hop loves him so much? Even people that's not signed to him, never was signed to him. Why do you think they love Steve Rifkind so much? Because they do.
He set them up for life, Carl.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody put the blueprint in your hands for you to stay rich and for you to get rich and help your family, man, come on, man, you always respect that. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of them guys, man. You know what I'm saying? And he never fell victim to everything else that was going on with the major labels, what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? And he kept it 100. He kept the business 100. And you know, and more of that is a teaching as well, because now you teaching somebody how to look over contracts, certain contracts. So you got these artists that's in these groups, when they go to these other labels for solo deals, they know what they're looking for now, because Steve Rifkind showed them. All right, well, don't let them do this. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You need this. This is yours. You know what I'm saying? So that made it much better. So somebody like that, that's like somebody giving you the game 100%. You will always love that person, no matter what.
That's a good point. That's a good point. He gave them the game. So, go ahead.
And he was also able to, as you guys said, assemble a roster without playing the game.
Yeah.
That's why everybody else had to play the game and, subsequently, either screw somebody or get screwed. He was like, I don't want to do that. We can do it this way. It's going to take a little bit of time. But when we do it the way we do it, then it's going to come out right.
So it's more the slow grind.
Yeah,
more
exactly.
the slow grind.
And even as a competitor, you have to respect that. And you know what? I respect that. Because, no doubt, they're in direct competition. Even the people that you're talking about who give him praise, they're in direct competition with the man. But, yeah, you have to give respect where respect is due.
Good point. Now, Steve Ripken had the foresight to sign. He's from Long Island. He had the foresight to sign people outside of the New York, hip hop base, and everybody didn't do that, especially people that was centered in New York. So why did Steve Rifkind have the foresight to sign Twista and Exhibit and Crazy Bone and Project Pat and them? Like, what made you think he felt the need? Like, yo, I got the Wu already. I got Mobb Deep. They hard. You know what I'm saying? I got Big Pun. I got MOP. But why I'm going to take advantage of these people from all these other different markets?
Probably thinking bigger than New York, for one, for sure. Like, this is, hip-hop is worldwide. Especially, like you said, that during that time, hip-hop had actually exploded and become worldwide. So why not think bigger than the 5 boroughs? And you're from New York, right? Mm-hmm. So you can help me with this, whether I'm right or wrong. Didn't he live in Long Island? Didn't he live in Long Island?
Yeah, he lived in Long Island.
He wasn't in the epicenter of hip hop, but he was right there. I mean, it's right there. I know it's right there. I understand that. So already he's thinking, I'm already outsider, quote unquote. So I should already be looking outside the box anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure he came in with that mentality. Like, it's bigger than the Boogie Down Bronx, even though I respect it. It's bigger than whoever else it came from. We could take this and go bigger.
But also there's a lot of meetings that go involved. Like, all the big labels do bidding wars on certain people. And a lot of people, like, let's say the Alcoholics came to the table, and they're like, man, I'm like Def Jam, I'm not fucking with them. They're not good for us. And this person, he says, well, I'll take them. Yep. So he just be there, okay, I'll take them.
I'll sign you.
You know what I mean?
You guys want to do what you, well, again, like you said with the cover that you showed where he's cooking up bass. I mean, Alcoholics are talking about getting drunk. We're talking about turning out the party.
Alcoholics.
Like, we're literally with the licks, baby. It's the licks. Who's going to promote that?
Alcoholic.
Who's gonna promote that? Yeah, everybody drinks, but we're not. We can't out and promote that. But Steve's like, I can. You come here and say what you want. Do what you want. Again.
Yeah, he had his hand in a lot, especially with Exhibit. How Exhibit blew up.
Yeah.
And not only that, Carl, reflecting back, name them names that look at the names you mentioned. Them names you mentioned was part of rap groups. Project Pat, 3 6 Mafia, Exhibit, West Coast with
King
West
T.
Coast
King
Connection.
T and them. King T and them.
And
you feel me?
Alcoholics.
Yeah,
They was
yeah,
together.
And alcoholics. You feel what I'm saying? So
Tosh
he's
eventually found
dissecting
them.
these groups. He's like, yo, man, shit, let me see if I can get him a solo, because he's really the best. And Project Pat was the best out of 3 6 Mafia, whether they know it or not. Juicy J made the beats and everything, but Project Pat was the real rapper.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes.
DJ Paul and Juicy J, they made the beats and know how to make the music, but Project Pat was that real rapper and straight from the streets, and he was raw and well respected. And why not give him a solo deal? You know what I'm saying? They give him, you know what I'm saying, that backing, because he got his own following, and they know that if you knew 3 6 Mafia, you knew that Pat was that dude. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, another thing, he didn't really have to go far to get these people, because once you get one out, all the artists tour together. You know, like Exhibit.
They talking.
Yeah, they talking. Yo,
they in
Exhibit
conversation.
will talk to Steve Rifkind.
Yeah, but man,
I got
yeah,
the
he
licks
giving us
here.
this.
Check this out.
Yeah, I definitely. That's a good point. I definitely think a lot of this was like the piggyback.
Oh, brother,
like go scoop, go. He
Domino effect.
And who was the A&R for Loud Records at the time? Was it Lighty?
Yeah, it was Chris. I thought it was Chris.
Chris
I thought it was Chris.
Lighty, right?
Yeah.
Rob Lee.
Y'all really look
But
at that.
Lighty was also in Def Jam. So
Yeah,
it's basically whatever Def Jam didn't want, here you go, Steve.
Yeah. So you gotta really look at that, man. Like
You were still
all that
going in
played
there
a
to
part.
shop your deal. So, like you said, you were going down the line.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, we're going there.
Right. Now we're going to talk about some of the artists on Loud Records and just how do you feel about them and their contributions to hip hop. Well, we started with the Wu, so we're going to start right out with the Wu. Wu-Tang Clan, Loud Record artists. What the Wu-Tang Clan mean to hip hop?
Means a lot to hip hop, man. When they came in the building, man, that strong group, 5, 6, 7 deep.
9.
Everybody spitting, okay, jumping up to 9. Man. 9 deep, rapology. But yeah. So I mean, when they came in, man, I of course there and seen that when they dropped and all the lyrical flows that they had, everybody had a different lyrical flow, so you can relate to all of them. You can see difference in them, and it smashed the industry. And of course they branched off and did their own thing, and sky's the limit. It's right there. We know about them. They got shows now. Mm-hmm. They got the weekly thing on how they all started, and just to see and hear their story and when they started, who knew? You know what I mean? To actually see the visual of it, it's an amazing factor in hip hop. Definitely legends. Love them, man.
Hip hop super group, man.
You ever catch the Wu in concert, Ox? I know you've been to a lot.
I have. I just can't say where. I think I got a picture, afterwards. A picture in the backdrop.
You keep a picture.
Yeah, I think it's at Del State.
Del State?
Yeah,
I was going to say it was Del State. It had to be.
Del State, yup.
They came a couple times in a couple different factions. They came as the group, and then they came. I think Meth has come a couple times for sure. Mm-hmm. Red came. I mean, Red and Meth came together, and a couple other times they've come. So, yeah. I know you've seen because I believe I was in the building with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I mean, I can vouch for that.
What about y'all, young men? Man, y'all seen them live?
I seen Wu like 3 times. I seen them in New York at Barclays Center, which they had a terrible sound system that day in that big old stadium. Then I seen them in D.C. one time, which was dope. I seen them at that 30th anniversary show. That was dope. I seen them 3 times, and I seen them another time too. And then I seen Raekwon and Ghostface together and Capadonna at separate shows too. But I seen them like 2 or 3 times all together.
I didn't catch all of them yet. I can't wait. And I was going to catch the Ray, Ghost, and Jizza, but this was around the time they had the vaccination shit in play. So you need the card and all that. You know me. I'm bucking the system. So that shit ain't happen how I wanted. But I did catch Ray and Ghost with Meth and Redman. And I think that's probably it. I ain't seen nothing else.
I seen the 20th anniversary. Only Built for Cuban Links concert tour. Mm-hmm. That was dope too. Right. With him and Ghost.
What about an ODB sighting, man?
I never seen ODB. I personally never seen ODB. You seen ODB, Izzy?
I've seen it.
Where you seen that?
In Atlanta.
Wow, in Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Yeah, I never seen ODB.
Yeah, that did. Yeah.
Every time I seen Wu, there wasn't ODB, so I never seen him with ODB. But man, Wu is like a super hip hop super group. They like a comic book group, just of superheroes that branched out and had successful solo careers. But Wu is big, man. Wu is super big for hip hop and just how their whole movement and how they grown and where they started from to where they taken it from, man. Loud Records to get them that shot, legendary. What about Big Pun? Loud Records.
Wow, Big Pun.
Well, as someone who had a Puerto Rican influence in his family, my kids are half Puerto Rican. He represented for their mom and their family, just a bigger part of hip hop. Obviously, there are other Puerto Ricans in hip hop. I think we all know that. Yeah. But at that time, he came out and just blew it out the water. He's one of my favorite rappers, man. He's the only person I've ever seen get on a record with Black Thought and actually have me say, did Black Thought actually get out rapped here?
Word.
That doesn't really happen a lot. Word. I mean, I think we all know that. I mean, whether you like Black Thought or not, he doesn't usually get out rapped.
Big Pun special, man.
Way ahead of his time, going too soon, man. Most definitely. Ahead of time, going too soon.
Lyrical
man.
assassin. I never seen nobody fit that many words without taking a breath. And at that weight, it was super impressive to me. Classic. Capital Punishment right here is a classic. He had a short window of time, but such a big impact on hip hop, man.
Dominant. He also kind of ushered in that what ended up being the reggaeton and everything else, and the underlying the influence for them. I feel like he kind of ushered that in a little bit.
You're right, and
Nori.
You're right, and I don't think no hip hop guy. Like you said, it was a lot of Spanish rappers and stuff before it, but nobody took it to the level and the respect. To me, that Big Pun, even Fat Joe, it was all off of Big Pun. Fat Joe benefited off of Big Pun.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
So he took that. He took it to another level, man.
For him to supersede his role in Digging in the Crates, and then with Pun taking that to another level, like you said, he took him to a whole another level.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah. What about you mentioned them, the Alcoholics? I got on the Alcoholics late. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't hear about them until later on.
They're a very unique group, man. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the Alcoholics. I wasn't drinking heavy at the time, but I had some friends that really did. Yeah, heard a lot of the Alcoholics. Let's put it like that. Very, very talented group. Very, very talented group. And again, another group that we may not have heard of without this label. Because I don't know if I feel like they were in the shadows. Obviously Exhibit knew who they were, and if you were on the West Coast, we knew who they were, But we over here, we probably wouldn't have got them if Steve Rifkind and them don't get them and put them out. So they put them on a national audience so they can really be heard.
And I was late on them, but when I did get to know them, I'm like, oh, they dope. Especially Tash, he was a lyrical problem.
Yes.
So I definitely think them being on Loud and being around a bunch of East Coast rappers kind of helped them people to know them here a little bit.
It did.
But they was dope. The Beat Nuts.
True. Another one.
Psycho Last Juju. Some Spanish.
I was going to say, and then of course having their records with Pun.
Yeah. Off the books. Classic song.
Classic intro. Almost a passing of the torch kind of thing.
Right.
Here's our guy. You're gonna hear about him. Here you go. And then, like you said, them in their own right, very, very good group. Very, very good group.
Yeah, the Beat Nuts.
They had a hell of a motherfucking classic track. Woo!
Yes.
Yes. Oh man, that is a classic track right there.
What about Dead Prez?
Was that introduction to Big Pun? That Beat Nuts track?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I was saying.
Big Pun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's his first video.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, this is our boy.
Yeah, that's a classic.
You're gonna hear from him.
Yeah,
we're gonna let him get busy on it real quick. I think he thanked them on the record. Like, thank you for letting me get on the joint.
Salute the Beat Nuts, man, because that was a big deal. They passed the torch to legend right there.
Yeah, because that was their lane. They were the.
You're right. And they was like, this dude's dope.
Let's give him rappers. Yeah,
let's give him the introduction too. Dead Prez though, man. Dead Prez.
I ain't really get into the Dead Prez like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be a lie to say, I was on it like that. You know what I'm saying?
You don't mind. Let me just grab it.
Yeah, I come with the mic. I gotta hear you, dog.
You don't mind Dead Prez, very underground. What they come with, man?
Well, I'll speak for Dead Prez.
Speak for him,
that
please.
album, Let's Get Free, is a classic to me. If you never heard it, it's kind of like Public Enemy, but more aggressive. And they can rap. They got really dope songs, and they talking about a lot of
very political
issues, political. But that album, they got music afterwards. But that album, to me, they nailed it. And for Loud Records to give them the kind of freedom to say the kind of stuff they talking about crooked cops. They talking about being healthy. They talking about the jail system. For Loud Records to even back that, that's a big deal.
Real big deal.
Again, things Def Jam not going to do.
Def Jam's not putting that out.
Puffy's not doing that.
Puffy's not doing that. Not Puffy's not. What about Funk Master Flex? Remember, this is 60 minutes of funk.
Absolutely.
These are some classics.
Let's go, baby.
Classics.
Let's go,
Now
man.
Records is putting them out.
Let's go, man.
Classic records.
Because Volume 2 is an absolute classic.
Absolutely.
Absolute classic. Funk Master Flex Volume 2. He got star-studded cast on there. I don't know if you want to Google that joint up, Ox. I don't know last time. Yeah. But it's a star-studded cast.
Crazy about you, Mr. DJ.
L on that, right? L on that one, right?
Yeah, L on there.
There's a whole lot of people
Jay-Z,
on it.
Biggie, Mace,
A whole lot of
The
people.
Locks,
Loud Records. put
Mobb
that out.
Deep.
That's a
Sadat
big
X.
deal.
Man, shit, that was one of the best joints, man.
Yeah, you're right. Sadat X was on Loud Records.
Yeah, he was.
Sadat
Yeah,
X.
it's
Stream that. You can't even stream that album. Can you?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
No, you cannot. You gotta go YouTube or something. Yeah, Sadat X is on Loud Records. Absolutely. Sadat X, man, Brand Nubian. Not Brand Nubian, but Sadat X as a
sponsor,
solo
yeah,
artist.
exactly.
And also Crazy Bone, not Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Not just Crazy Bone by himself.
But Crazy Bone as a
Crazy
solo
Bone, yeah.
artist was on Loud Records. So
That's where he releases Rest in Peace to Easy on I believe on Through Loud.
what about, we got it somewhere, MOP was on Loud Records.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, Pete, the Firing Squad. See, that's what I'm saying. Who's taking risk of putting these type artists out, except for him? You know what I'm saying? So, you know how you go to them concerts and you like, yo, man, who was they? They was all right. Boom, boom, and you do your research on them. He was that guy that was always in them concerts.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Sure.
To me, he
Go
was
to the
just always
concert.
that guy.
And it's always in an intimate setting, so you get the real feel for the artist.
And MOP,
Exactly.
man, they talking about Annie, they talking about robbing people.
Manhattan always making it. Brooklyn always taking it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They from Brooklyn.
MOP was hard, man.
Yeah, they was the grimiest. One of
MOP
the
was hard.
grimiest crews.
What about
man.
3 6 Mafia, Project
See what I'm
Pat, Gangsta
saying?
Boo? They put out
See
all
what
of
I'm
that.
saying?
Branching off, man.
Yeah, they branching off. See what I'm saying?
Seeing somebody else.
That's
Yeah.
down south. That's
Something new.
completely different from the Wu. That's completely
Project
different.
Pat introduced Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo came out with one of the female loving tracks at the time. What was her single? That single she came out with.
What you're talking about too.
Man, I can't get the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. And that the video to match.
With them dollars.
And yeah,
with them dollars.
There we go. That's the female track of all time.
It is.
Strip
It is.
club
It
anthem.
is. If you was down
Strip
south and you
club
get to the strip club, you was going to
Feel
hear that
me?
joint.
And like
The money
certain
was
people
flying.
that we name it like the alcoholics, you know what I'm saying? The Gangsta Boos or whatever, like MOP, not excluding them to one or maybe 2 songs, but they had powerful one takes, man. Like them one song, the 1 or 2 songs, they were strong. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about another chance? Little Flip was on. Little Flip.
You know what?
Remember when
Yup.
he first came
Yup.
out? Remember
Until
when
he
he
fucked
first
with
came
T.I.
out?
He
This is
did
the-
real
this is the way
good
we
until he
ball.
fucked with T.I.
He was on Loud Records. He was popping
Yup.
when he first
Flip,
came out for a
flip,
minute.
Right.
flip.
I
Game
guess
over.
so.
Yeah, that game over.
Big track.
Yeah.
Big track.
His,
Now that-
his biggest track was Sunshine, believe it or not. I think that's the one that sold. That's the one that got on a couple soundtracks and a couple
yeah?
other places. Yeah, I believe so. Out of all the songs he had.
What about Twister?
Young Twister, Tongue Twister.
I didn't appreciate Twister in the beginning, but as I got older, I realized like, yo, what this dude does is not normal. Like that's not a normal thing.
Yep.
Like I didn't appreciate it in the beginning. I was like, this kind of whack, man. He rapping all fast. But then when I realized he was saying stuff and how hard that is and difficult it is, I respected it way more as I got a little older.
Imagine he had 2 artists that had a beef with each other because of the style. Remember him? It was Twister and then 3 6 and then and then Bone.
And then Bone too.
Then
Yeah,
that's
they was all beefing over the
Yeah, 'cause
little fast,
of
different styles.
Midwest
yeah,
Southern because
yeah.
in that
And
quarter
they under the umbrella.
Under
They
the
under the
same-
same umbrella. What
came
about
first.
Pete? What about Pete Rock?
Rock.
Because remember, Pete
Lord.
Rock
Chocolate-
started making
he
them
did.
solo
He did.
albums.
Chocolate Boy Wonder.
Yeah,
Wow.
producer, legendary producer.
Real shit
by the
there,
way,
real shit.
man. Then Raekwon as a solo artist.
Oh my.
Only known for Cuban Links.
Super classic.
Top 10.
Super classic.
Top 10.
Super. Hey.
Purple.
Purple. Word.
Trying to find mine. It's in the house somewhere, to be honest.
And you know a big name, Mobb Deep.
Yeah, man. Classic.
Yeah, classic, man.
Legends, hip hop
They
legends.
give him a chance, man. Like everybody been saying for the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, they couldn't get a chance without Loud. You know what I mean? They couldn't get on without it. You know what I mean? So they gave him the bridge to cross over and make it into the mainstream and blow up and have successful careers.
Then he branched out and Prodigy, Keep It Thorough, solo album. Remember that?
Yeah. Classic tracks on here. Good album though. It came at a good time. Good album.
Lot of man. It's a lot more artists, but that's just a little example of like the impact that Loud made in the game from all the different areas in the country, man. Like big impact, man. Big impact, man. So Loud Records originally shut down in 2002. What were the reasons for that, you think?
I think not enough mainstream artists. Nobody really doing nothing. You know what I mean? I mean, there was some of the older artists was putting out work, but it didn't blow up like that. You know what I mean? So they didn't require a team. They didn't get a team to build on. You know what I mean? As rap changed, as rap grew, nobody jumped on, nobody blew up, and I think that was the demise of the whole record label.
Right.
My 2 cents.
What do you think, Izzy? Why they shut down in 2002?
I believe at that time he was actively working on the Masters thing at that particular time, because then when he rebranded it, he signed his son.
Yeah.
So and when he brought him back, and he was like, okay, we're gonna do this a little differently. Now we're gonna make sure everybody gets, we're gonna bring it to fruition. We're gonna make sure everybody owns their stuff and things like that. But I think he had to probably sit down for a minute and regroup.
I think that and just the game change in 2002. Like T. Warren said, the radio was so popping. This format of kind of like letting you do what you want with no singles.
Yeah.
By 2002, it was real blingy, real icy, real strip club anthem, and you're not getting a lot of that from this table.
They're
right
trying
now.
to rob the people.
Yeah,
they're
right.
doing that.
Word, you're right.
Quite honestly, his whole roster is trying to rob everybody
They're
who's
trying
doing
to
the
rob.
play. let's just keep it funky.
It's hard to get this on the radio. Other than Big Pun,
and he was trying to rob you too.
A lot of this stuff ain't really getting radio like that in 2002.
You're right.
Mobb Deep was
style.
hard though.
New York was giving Mobb Deep heavy play. You know what I'm saying? Some underground shit, late night. But you wasn't getting too much. Big Pun was the only thing that was really kind of marketable, real heavy.
Yeah, I agree. All right, this is a tough question. There's some tough questions, but I'm gonna make y'all think a little bit. Top 5 albums that came out on Loud Records. I don't even know my answer for this right now, so I'm
just gonna go with 5. I'm just gonna go with 5 a few that I see right here. Definitely this, man. Only built for Cuban links, man. Definitely is a no-brainer. In my Ox voice, definitely a no-brainer. Murder Music, definitely a no-brainer. Hell on Earth, definitely a no-brainer, man. You know what I'm saying? I might have to go with the motherfucking
That's when it start getting
Wu-Tang Forever. I'm definitely throwing the Wu-Tang Forever in there. And the Infamous, man. You know what? In the Infamous, I got my 5 right here, and then I got a strong honorable mention, man. Funk Flex Volume 2.
I was gonna say, yeah,
my man. Funk Flex Volume 2. Man. That's a strong honorable mention, man. I wanted to throw it in the top 5,
my man.
but over Wu-Tang Forever and over Infamous, I can't. You feel? I just can't. So my strong honorable mention is definitely that, and this is probably one of my honorable mentions as well. I liked it.
Honorable mention.
Yes, wow. Man. Them 5 I named, man. Capital Punishment not better than this. It's not better than Murder Music. It's not better than Hell on Earth. It's not better than the Infamous, and the damn sure ain't better than Wu-Tang Forever. Let's be real.
I'm gonna go. Wow, that's
and the reason why I'm putting Funk Flex honorable mention higher than this is because Funk Flex got Biggie on there. Biggie freestyle.
It's classic.
What?
It's classic.
Classic freestyle.
Classic.
Hands down.
Wow. I'm gonna go with I'm trying not to double up. I'm not going to double up on one artist group. I'm just going to do one album. So I'm going to go with
But make it truthful. Because you got 3 classics sitting up here from Mobb Deep.
And I got 3 classics from Wu-Tang Clan.
As Zoc say, man, let's not do it. Let's not clean it up for the people.
Well, no,
that shit in there.
I'm just gonna go with what I like the most. I'm gonna go with number 1. I'm gonna go with Built for Cuban Links. Number 1. Number 2. I'm gonna go with Wu-Tang Forever. This is stuff I like. I'm gonna go with Wu-Tang Forever. Number 2. Number 3. I'm gonna go with Big Pun Capital Punishment. Number 4. I'm gonna go with Mobb Deep Murder Music. Number 5, I'm gonna go with MOP Warriors. MOP Warriors was hard.
Yeah, it was, but
And number 5, I'm gonna go completely off the box. I'm gonna go with Let's Get Free Dead Presidents. That's my honorable mention. Honorable mention. That Let's Get
ragtag shit.
I said that's my
This nigga Ox.
No.
You gonna let him get away with this
Y'all
shit?
gotta
Ox?
stop disrespecting.
Talk to me, Ox, man.
That's my honorable
Mic
mention.
check.
Let's
Mic
get
check, 1, 2.
Dead Prez is my honorable mention, man. Don't
Can
disrespect.
you please
Dead
get this
Prez.
guy Ox, man?
Don't disrespect Dead Prez, man. What you got? What you got? What you got, Ox? What you got?
You know, I'm a follower of the man LeVar Freaky Gordon over there. Man. When he get kicked, I can throw one of the Mob Deeps out and put the volume 2 in there from Funk Flex, man. Throw the Mob Deep, one of the Mob Deeps out. Hell on Earth can go. This is my number 1 as far as Mob.
Infamous.
Yeah, so throw that out and throw that volume 2 in there, man. We got a 5 that can't be stopped, man. And just to throw my man to my left, man. What kind of?
Well, first of all, Ox,
Let's be real.
Thank you, Ox. I
Come
thought
on,
you was
man.
going
First of all, Ox, you never
What
heard
time
that
you
skit
on?
free, so you can't judge
I
it.
know.
You can't judge it if you ain't. I'm sorry, Rap. I'm sorry. I don't want to throw it out there, Rap. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I thought we wasn't recording no more.
You
My
was on
fault.
the bus,
My
go
fault.
round and
I thought we
round.
wasn't recording no more. I thought we wasn't recording no more, Rap. I'm sorry, man. But you know what I'm saying. But you gotta listen to it first, you know, to understand. But it's
Damn,
great
Mike
albums on.
Johnson.
I
That's a
love.
politically correct shit. He just
I
dropped on us.
I actually think this album dope. Like I rock with it. But I love Hell on Earth. I love the Infamous. I love Enter the Wu-Tang Chambers. You know, I love the W, man. And so I like a lot of. I actually think, y'all gonna go. I think in Inspect the Deck is, you know. Nah. I like Inspect the Deck. I like Inspect the Deck, dog. I like Inspect the Deck. Yo, don't disrespect. Inspect the Deck get busy. But Mobb Deep, MOP got a bunch of joints, man. So I'm bringing the controversy. What you got, Izzy? What you got?
Oh man,
I got a feeling you
y'all
about to take it to another region. I got a feeling you're gonna take it to another region somewhere.
I'm not.
You ain't gonna get your boy. You ain't gonna go with Project
I
Pattern.
won't go with Project Pattern. Nah, because that's not. Yeah.
All right.
Got to go here first.
What's that?
For sure.
Into the Wu-Tang.
I mean, that's what it is. He's on my list. I know.
Big pun.
And I believe I've already covered why. I mean, just for
yeah,
personal
you
reasons.
you gave the background.
You know what I mean? I was able to, even now, I play this for my kid now. Like, here you go. Here's representation for you.
Wow.
So it's representation
dope.
on both sides.
That's dope.
We're definitely going here. And I'm not the biggest fan of these cats, but yo, I give credit where credit is due.
Infamous was
And
hard.
this joint right here.
Infamous number 3. Infamous number 3. Ooh, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go there high. I'm surprised you didn't go there.
Well, listen, again, I get my fill of him over here.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
You already
And
got a little
Yeah, I mean,
preview on the wheel.
I mean, I was with you. I was almost gonna go. They only get one, whatever. But he's right. Let's keep it.
Let's be
well,
real.
Yeah, let's be real. If I'm playing all the tapes, which one's gonna get played? You know what I mean?
You got one more. You got one more. Dog. That's
one,
4. That's 3 or 4. Oh, you're going to the Wu-Tang Forever.
politically correct.
Wu-Tang Forever.
Right.
Woo!
That's one of the most classic.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I mean, that CD. I had a CD changer. I'm sure we all did. Those 2 CDs stayed in both sides of my CD chamber forever.
Wow.
Forever. They never came out, and you could listen to like road trips. Plenty of road trips. Listening just to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to them.
So what's your honorable mention? You got an honorable mention. Who you going with?
Your Funk Master Flex.
Master Flex.
Yeah.
Right, too.
Honestly, yeah. And again, I was singing the hook earlier. Crazy for you, Mr. DJ. We don't get that without that. We don't get Akinelli songs without that. Who we did not mention. We don't get any Akinelli actually without
That's
them.
powerful. That's
We don't
powerful.
get Akinelli and Sadat X. We don't. Yeah, it's a couple of things we don't get without that Funk Master Flex thing. So yeah, absolutely.
One more tough one. Top 5 artists or groups on Loud Records. Top 5 out of all this talent.
All right, you definitely got to go with the Wu.
Yeah.
You got to go with Mobb Deep. You got to go with the Wu. You got to go with Mobb Deep.
Artist.
You can also
Artists.
do the solo.
The
too.
solo artists as well. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to wrap them up in one. You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep, Wu, MOP.
So you saying Mobb Deep's number 1 on your list?
No, the Wu.
Oh,
Wu
okay,
number
okay,
1 on my
okay,
list.
okay,
I'm just
okay.
naming my 5. The Wu number 1 on my list.
Yo, Ox is really
Mobb
he's
Deep.
studying me right now.
Then Mobb Deep.
All right.
Right? Then MOP. Then I'm going to go with Raekwon the Chef outside of the group because I think he made one of the most classical albums on Loud Records, which is only built for Cuban links. And number 5, man, the guy that brought everybody together, Funk Flex.
You can call that an artist though?
Got to. He's DJ.
Okay.
I kind of like that. I'm gonna go with Wu number 1. I'm gonna go with Mobb Deep number 2. I'm gonna go Raekwon number 3. Phew. I don't really like the Funk Flex. I'm gonna go with M.
Figure this young man.
I'm gonna go.
So-
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
I forgot Big
tripping.
Pun.
I'm
Yeah.
tripping.
I'll
I'm
take the flex
tripping.
off, man.
Time
Take the flex off, man.
I'm going with Wu-Tang. No, yeah, I knew I was missing something. I'm going with Wu-Tang number 1. I'm going with I'm going with Mobb Deep number 2. I'm going with Big Pun number 3. I'm going with Raekwon number 4, and I'm going with MOP number 5. That's what I'm rocking with. My top 5 Loud Records.
All right, so I don't think our top 3 are really gonna deviate too much. We got Wu, we got Mob, I got Pun. Now here comes your twist. Now, 3-6.
3
There's your twist for you.
They was your guys then. They was your guys.
I'm Southern based, so yeah.
They actually put me on. Him and
Yeah,
Ali
yeah,
put me on the Project Pat.
Southern
I remember
based,
like, yo,
so
you
yeah,
got
I have to,
Project
yeah.
Pat. They put me
Absolutely.
on. I ain't know nothing about that. I ain't gonna lie.
And then Ray.
And then Ray. Shout out to Exhibit too, man. He ain't on my list, but I just think Exhibit
you
was
absolutely
dope.
have to-
For the
you have
West
to mention
Coast,
him.
he was on Loud Records, and I thought Exhibit was
Yeah,
dope.
Exhibit was real
He
dope.
can rap, like, you
And he
know.
was able to put them on a bigger platform when he was on MTV. Because he was signed.
Yeah, you're right.
He signed to Loud Records. And
Sound Loud Records. What's the Pimp My Ride?
Yep.
Yeah, that's coming off that Loud Records success, man. Then he hooked up with Dre. Then his career went to a different level. Snoop and all of them, his career went to a big level. Man, Loud Records though.
Yeah.
Loud Records, man. Any labels out now that remind you of Loud Records?
Koch.
Koch ain't even around.
They ain't stay
no more.
around. But I'm saying as far as the independency, I thought
Yeah.
they represented Loud Records.
You know what
they
I'm
were
gonna go
about to
with?
say.
I'm gonna go with Empire. It seems like Empire is that for the artists. They gonna let them do their own thing. Conway, other than the Griselda album, he's on Empire. Benny and them.
Yeah.
It kind of like they just let them do what you want. So
Which
I'm
come
go,
on Empire now too, right? Lobby Boys, Jim Jones and
Yeah, they got a deal.
They got a deal with Empire.
They are kind of like the new Koch in a way.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the new Koch.
I'd
On a
agree with
bigger
that.
level, I don't really know nobody.
nah.
There isn't.
Who you say?
There isn't. No,
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I like the Empire right now. It used to be Koch. Now and I remember when like going to Koch was like a bad thing. Like you going to Koch like you at the end of your career. But now it flipped, and then it flipped, and the independent thing became the popular.
To the
thing.
dummy, it's a bad thing, but due to the artist, it's a beautiful thing.
And you mentioned Jim Jones. Jim Jones is one of the people who
absolutely.
changed
He
that.
started. He
with the
started
balling and
that
all this
narrative.
Successful thing.
He started that narrative with
kinda-
Koch.
Yeah,
And they 50 was trying to play him for going to Koch, and then he broke down how Koch made more sense for rappers as such of himself coming out of groups that's really not the main focus of the group and having these albums and putting projects out. He benefited most.
And if
So
you-
he made 50 look dumb on that.
and if
part.
you sell 300,000 on Koch, independent, you make more money than in a
Absolutely,
major.
that's
So
three.
that was a
That's
big
more.
deal. He
That's
was
like
giving game with that.
You made money as if you went 3 to 4 times platinum, right?
Yeah,
Some shit like that. So
I think Hove wrapped that one up before, didn't he?
What?
Hove said that before, didn't he?
Yeah, man. I like the Empire. That's all I can really go with in these times. Everybody else, you gotta have some singles. You gotta have some rap. You gotta have some strip club joints. You gotta have something on there. So, happy birthday, happy 60th birthday to Steve Ripken. Man, salute the Loud Records and everybody that was involved.
R.I.P. the Prodigy, man. Prodigy was one of the
R.I.P.
artists.
the Prodigy, R.I.P. the Big Pun.
Big Pun, yeah.
Rest in peace.
Two major
for
artists
sure.
on
Rest in peace to ODB, part of Wu-Tang Clan.
ODB, yup.
Yeah, man. So
Chris Lighty, because he had something to do with it, right?
rest in peace. Rest in peace.
More than something.
And so it's almost been 31 years. It's been 31 years since Steve Ripken founded Loud Records. So what do you think is the legacy in the game for Loud Records, man, in the hip hop?
Classic. Everybody been through there. Haven't Busta Rhymes been through there? We forgot about that. The Violator album. What about the Violator album?
Not
we missing that?
Busta Rhymes is on a lecture though, but he was heavily associated.
He was heavily associated
with him.
But what about the Violator album? They had wasn't that under the Loud?
I think Violator was on Def Jam actually.
It was?
Yeah,
Okay.
But Busta Rhymes had a good relationship with
Yeah, I just said that because I seen that Prodigy had Loud and Violator. He was part of both of them.
Yeah, but Violator is a management group, so
Okay.
you could do both. But but Busta Rhymes did have a good relationship with him. And then Steve Ripken later he started SRC, which is another like affiliate, and they signed different artists as well. So he actually came back with Loud Records for a little bit, and like I think it was like 2012 or something like that. And he actually signed his first people he signed was the Wu-Tang the group again. He signed them back, so that was kind of like a full circle moment. Yeah. But now he ain't doing that no more. I think he's at like Universal or something right now. But
he stepped down from there.
Yeah. Oh, he stepped down?
He stepped down from there.
Okay, so Loud Records, man. What is the legacy of Loud Records in the game, man?
Man, independency, man. It started with the independency of the underground rap. That's how I'm going to leave it, man. Independency of the underground rap and brought out some classic albums.
Loud Records, a place where you can rap how you wanted to.
What you got for us, Ox?
As far as their legacy, as far
hip-hop,
as
hip-hop
I
game.
mean, look at the table, man. Look at the table. Without some of these artists on the table, man, where would rap be at now, man? I mean, I think it speaks for itself, man. You know, they put it down. They put it down at a certain time where it needed to be put down, where you know the door wasn't open for them to get in these other labels that we've been discussing for the whole hour. They got in, they blew it up. They had great music. And it just speaks for itself, man.
And it's interesting. It's interesting because you were moving racial tones out of it, and it was a white guy that gave this freedom out, gave the freedom of art for I want my artists, yo man, be creative as you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna support you, however I can. Maybe I can't get you all on the radio, but I'm gonna try to support you being you. So it was creative freedom. You know what I'm saying? It was a place where you was appreciated as an artist and what you do. He wasn't trying to change you or say you gotta make you gotta wear a shiny suit or you gotta make a strip club anthem. He was like, yo, you just do you, and I believe in you as an artist, and I'm gonna support you. For an artist, that's a big deal, and I think that's why they had their run. Only reason I think they got into some hard times is because the game changed so much that it was almost, you couldn't make it if you didn't have these certain things. Yeah. And radio became so big at some point, nobody was trying to sign you anymore if you didn't have these, you know, this certain kind of song, you know. But for that run, Steve Rifkind, Loud Records, they put on for these artists, man. Shout out to Wu-Tang, Big Pun, Mobb Deep, you know, rest in peace Prodigy, rest in peace ODB, rest in peace Big Pun, you know, Funk Master Flex, Exhibit, Pete Rock, 3-6 Mafia, MOP, all these dudes, man. Sadat X, they laid a foundation. The Alcoholics. Shout out to everybody. Dead Prez, you know, I don't care what y'all say. I like Dead Prez, man.
Big dog.
Inspector Deck, Raekwon is a solo artist, Prodigy the solo artist. All y'all, man. Salute the Loud Records. Happy 60th birthday to Steve Rifkind. You know, we do this for hip hop, man. We do this for hip hop, man.
Absolutely, man.
But yo, we Concert Crew Podcast. Make sure y'all go follow us at Concert Crew Podcast. And make sure y'all go download, subscribe. We on all digital platforms. Make sure y'all go to our YouTube page, subscribe, check out all of our videos. Yo, we here. We ain't going nowhere. Yo, Pito, hit us with the fader. We out.